Welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports HQ, your home to get your weekend started for college football every single Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Time to look ahead to a very exciting Friday night, and the action begins very shortly in Lane Stadium, Blacksburg, Virginia. Enter Sandman Justin Fuente with a lot of pressure to deliver a winning season for Virginia Tech. North Carolina playing with expectations, something that we don't always have for North Carolina football, but they've got one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Sam Howell. And we are looking at the Tar Heels as a very short favorite. Now, a win here from North Carolina probably means that they continue on their path to try and win the Coastal Division, be the second best team in the ACC behind Clemson. A loss here makes things very difficult to claim an ACC championship and would mean a lot to the Hokies. I love this pressure-packed game in the New River Valley. So, Tom Fornelli, tell me, what is your pick for this game and how do you see it playing out?
I think that if I'm Virginia Tech, I'm at home. I'm going to have a packed stadium for the first time in a year, and I'm going to try to rely on that atmosphere to take advantage of North Carolina early. And I think I'm going to try to play to my team's strengths to keep myself in the game. And this is a Virginia Tech team that last year rushed the ball over 61% of the time. It was the 11th most frequent rushing offense in the country. And they're facing a North Carolina defense, which I think has improved since last year, particularly up front on the defensive line, but was still pretty porous stopping the run. They ranked 73rd nationally in defensive success rate against the run. So I think the Hokies are going to take kind of a similar approach to what we saw with Minnesota against Ohio State on Thursday. They're going to run the ball a lot, try to shorten the game, limit possessions, not allow that North Carolina offense, which is pretty explosive at times, to, be on the field to extend its lead and keep it close. So that's what I'm expecting tonight. And also, the under overall has been a very popular and profitable play with Virginia Tech over the years. It is 41-25-1 in the Hokies conference games since 2013, and that includes 20-12-1 when they're at home. So I'm going to be taking the under tonight. I think that North Carolina probably wins because I just think they're a little too talented for these Hokies, but I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as the total suggests.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be high scoring. I'm not going to take the over or the under, though. I'm going to take North Carolina, and I'm going to lay those 5.5 just because I don't necessarily trust this Virginia Tech defense. It was a mess last year, and just the Virginia Tech program as a whole seems to have just sort of a broken feeling to it. So I think that comes to hurt them today. And I know you're missing a lot of different weapons offensively for North Carolina, but Sam Howell's going to get it done. Ty Chandler, transfer from Tennessee, can pound the rock. And so I think this is going to be a case of Sam Howell and North Carolina and that offense forcing Virginia Tech into a shootout. I know it's at home and Lane Stadium's going to be rocking, but I don't trust Braxton Burmeister and the rest of that Virginia Tech offense to get into and keep up with North Carolina in a shootout. So I'm going to lay those points. And look, I'm not the biggest North Carolina guy. I think Miami's going to win that division. But I think in this particular instance, this is a perfect chance for North Carolina to figure itself out offensively against a conference opponent, get some confidence offensively around Sam Howell, and move forward down the road. That obviously will lead to a chance to get to Charlotte, but I don't think they will. But I think in this game, a lot of points. North Carolina wins by double digits.
Spent too many Saturdays in Kenan Stadium in the John Bunning era to feel comfortable with that little number 10 beside North Carolina. I mean, they made bobbleheads for 8 and 5 Peach Bowl seasons. Like, that's where the standard for success was for North Carolina football. I'm absolutely uncomfortable. My pick is North Carolina, and I'll go ahead and tell the viewers now we're 90 minutes from kickoff. It's either like North Carolina by 7 to 10 points, maybe 2 touchdowns, or Virginia Tech outright. Like, there's just no in between on this because North Carolina is the better team. Every way that I crunch my numbers, North Carolina is more than a touchdown better on a neutral field, but college football is not played in a vacuum and it's not played on a neutral field. And this setting, this Friday night setting, when Justin Fuente knows what this win could mean, not just for, his own future or the hot seat, but for a Virginia Tech team that needs confidence. They did not play in a bowl game for the first time in decades. They had a losing season last year. That's where Sam Howell absolutely has to be huge to help North Carolina prove not only to the entire country, but to themselves that they are not the same team that went to Florida State as a top 5 team and lost, that they are not the same team that went to Virginia with a chance to be able to maybe play its way into the ACC championship game and lost. Those were 2 spots where it seemed a little bit less like North Carolina had leveled up and more like they still had some lingering issues from previous eras, from, a Butch Davis team that had more NFL draft picks and still dropped them along the way. So I'm going with North Carolina, but I'll tell you right now, I got no confidence in it. But I don't know. Let's go, Heels. We'll see how it goes.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.